Running back Isiah Pacheco was listed on PFF's top running backs list for 2024 as number 15. Lonnie, we'll start with you. Do you think this is a reasonable ranking?
Yeah, I love it because you're just gonna make a pit bull. You ever seen a pit bull with their mouth foaming? That's Isiah Pacheco. I'm not gonna say it's like an accurate rating, but I'm not gonna say he's just like with the Saquon Barkleys and the McCaffreys of the world. We know Pacheco, and we love Pacheco for his running style, not necessarily his running ability. So like his breakaway speed or his being able to press the gap or his being able to stop and start. We love him for the way that he runs, the tenacity that he runs with, the mentality that he pops up with and runs back to the huddle with. We love him for the things that he do. We love him for the things that he does, not necessarily the ability to be a all-around great back as far as PFF standards. However, I do think Pacheco will be among the top 10 backs this year. I do want to go ahead and make that hot take just as of right now. I know he's probably at 15, but I feel like after this year, this is a guy that has won 2 Super Bowls. You have to be mindful that it's very far and few between for any running back at that position now. So being that he had the ability to do that one as a rookie and then come back and win another one in his second year, I think he's going to definitely separate himself from the rest of the pack. So I think this is his year that he does that. Being in the Andy Reid system, he won't have a ton of miles on his body. He's going to be well ingratiated into the offense, but he's going to be rotated out well. So I think it's a reasonable position as of now. But I think his position will get better, and he will find himself in that top 10 to top 5 range.
Now, according to PFF, he's 15. I'm looking at the scores of as well too. Like I'm looking at other outlets. A lot of them have him in the top 10. So PFF, we always known that they grade things weirdly. They can subtract your grade for certain stuff that may not have impacted the play, or they feel like was their personal opinion of why. So it can be questionable. I'm looking at the top 10 people that's ahead of him right now. Only person I got a problem with is Devon A-Chain. He just literally flashed last year, like if I'm not mistaken. Pacheco, he came in and literally took a grown man job. I was in the range of 10 to 15 anyway. But Lonnie, like you saying, honestly, after this year, depending on how he goes, because he needs to go over that 1,000-yard mark. And it's not really that. You have a few, depending on the type of offenses that they run within their system, that it's like, okay, you expect like a Derrick Henry or so to go ahead and go for 1,000 yards plus, because they may not have a great of a quarterback, or they may not have great of an arm. So they kind of play within the system of wanting to run the ball a lot. So you can understand them getting up there due to their yardage and their usage. That's fine. Pacheco is in a system to where it's very pass heavy, regardless of how garbage our receivers are. We don't care. We're going to throw the ball. That's what we want to do. And he has to deal with that. So he had to be more of an overall well-rounded running back, where you have to do it outside the backfield, catching the ball in a flats, running in between the chains, in between the tackles, doing it, everything like that. So I feel like his workload, it proves that honestly he can move up to the top 8 in my opinion. But the running back position is always interchangeable, because I'm sorry, everybody, that position is just not as valuable anymore. It's not. And to be honest, really, you see that we are stretching for topics because we really don't like to always talk about the running back position like that. No disrespect to the running backs. It's not nothing like that. But, we're in a position right now where it is great arguments to the point to why it's, not as valued due to the fact of it being a passing league. So, when it comes to that, the conversation, it's like, yeah, the reason why we talk about Christian McCaffrey a lot is because his ability to where he can go out there, line up and slot. If they wanted to, he probably could line up on the outside as well too, run a route, really route up the guy that he's going against and really do something with it. He can do everything. And the same with Saquon as well. He has that ability, but he was injured. He dealt with injuries that pushed him back. Pacheco, he dealt with some this year, but it was because he was a workhorse. Like, you're going to be that type of guy who's ran down. But I do applaud Andy Reid for trying to keep him, in good health. He tried to utilize his other running backs like Jet McKinnon when available, and also Clyde when he was out there as well too. He don't want to work you in, but when it needs to be a drive that we have to go down there and score, they do have Pacheco out there. So, Chiefs Kingdom, Chiefs fans, he's probably going to always be between that 10 and 15 because they're going to see him as a guy like where when he gets the ball, like you just said, he runs very angry. He gets yardage. But then they're going to have the conversation. Oh, let's go ahead and look at his yardage. Oh, let's go ahead and look at his uses of carries because what do they judge a running back based off of? Running the ball and getting this amount of yards. That's what's going to affect him in some sense, along with whatever he has receiving and going with that. But at the end of the day, I it's not the worst. I mean, as long as he wasn't in the bottom 20, like 20 to 30, I'm fine with that. Pacheco proved that he's someone who should be respected and someone that you will actually want to be on your team 4 years ago.
All right, and I'm going to be the homerist of all of us again because there should be no reason that Isiah Pacheco is ranked anything less than his jersey number in terms of running backs in the NFL. Yes, last year he did not get 1,000 rushing yards, but let us not forget the scheme that he plays under and how valuable you need to be as a pass-catching running back and as a blocking running back in Andy Reid's scheme. So if we're going off of scrimmage yards, he got 1,000 yards last season, and his first season he got nearly there, and he wasn't full-time starting his first season until quite a while. And last year he only missed 3 games because of injury or choice, and the last game of the season when he possibly could have gotten that 1,000 yards, he was resting because Andy Reid saw the value in Isiah Pacheco. Pacheco is the perfect running back for Andy Reid's scheme. He is the perfect running back that fits this Chiefs offense. We saw Kareem Hunt as that blueprint of the type of running back that we need. We need a bruising running back who will just beat up guys. The Derrick Henry type of running back that nobody wants to tackle. Miami Dolphins in the cold weather game was not trying to tackle Isiah Pacheco that day. And he almost single-handedly won that game for the Chiefs. And there were several games all last season where him and the defense were the sole reason why they won. So there are other outlets who properly ranked him at least 10. But other than some notable names that you've mentioned or that are on the list because of who they are by name alone, yes, running back is not as valuable, but the right kind of running back in the right offenses is still very valuable. Isiah Pacheco is 2 for 2 on being in the NFL and winning Super Bowls. How much better could you possibly do? How much more can you showcase your abilities and your talent by becoming the starter in year 1 and winning back-to-back Super Bowls and trying to win a third? As a running back, when you know that position can be swapped out at any given moment, move on to the next guy who's flashing now, who's the next hyped up name. So I think it's ridiculous. Isiah has shown himself to be a dominant force, and the fact that he is not properly rated is going to put a chip on his shoulder. And just like we mentioned in the first segment about Tom Brady slighting Patrick, and that'll fuel the fire in him to get the job done, this should cause nothing but rage and passion to flow out of Isiah Pacheco to say, screw you guys and what you say. I'm going to show you why I am a top 10 running back in the NFL, and my numbers don't have to showcase that. You put the film on and you watch me play, and you tell me who else you watch that performs as well as I do. So I don't think Pacheco is mid-tier. I do not think that he is only 15. I think on any given night, he can be upwards of the top 5 running back in the NFL. And I think at 10 is a proper rating for him at the very least.
And I just wanted to add on to that. being that he has those 2 Super Bowls and is 2 for 2, I feel like being that if he stays healthy, barring any major injury, Pacheco will get paid. He's going to get paid. It will not be by the Chiefs. Let me just go ahead and say that now.
Right.
It will not be by the Kansas City Chiefs, but he will get paid.
What are you guessing for this contract?
I'm not saying I'm not going to guess any numbers because the market sucks.
I just want to see how bold we were.
The market sucks, but I'm just saying he's going to get a second contract. Some guys are not even privy to a second contract, especially how the running back market is working now. A lot of teams would rather take their shots on a rookie coming out of the draft than give a guy a second contract. But I'm for sure Pacheco will get a second long-term deal with the team if he can stay healthy. Barring any major injury, he's going to be due for another contract because no other running back has done what Pacheco has done and has featured in the offense to the likes of Pacheco. And Dale, like he did last year. Like Clinton said, he did feature in the offense last year, heavy.
And before you pop in, Dale, let it be said that the Chiefs also did not decide to sign or draft a younger running back, and yet just bring back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who the team has accepted is a backup running back in this role because of Isiah Pacheco, who did in fact take Clyde Edwards-Helaire's job. So the Chiefs decided not to invest in the position anymore, at least for the next 2 seasons, because they see the value in Isiah Pacheco.
I wouldn't either, because what they're about to say is they're about to try to scheme him. Why don't y'all want to listen to me? Let's just take the Super Bowls and rings away, because this is what they're going to say. Boy, you had Patrick Mahomes. Shut up. You did great, though. Like, you did great. And I would definitely love you to have on the system. Pop, I'm your boy. I love you because for real, I love the ferociousness and how you run and everything like that. I just want you to be ready, have your rage agents ready. Brett gonna come with some bull first, just let you know. So go ahead, hear what they talking, because if they ain't talking that much more than the Chiefs, just stay with us, bro. Stack up that bread, stack up these rings. That's all I'm saying. Because really, I could be more homer than y'all and say top 5 if I really wanted to. If I really wanted to use a ring argument as well, too. But, when we come into this game, people are very particular and be like, we got to do individual stacks. Okay, I get it. Yes. Honestly, you can be great because you might be the only talented person on the team that can make something happen, and you get the most touches. If I'm lying, I'm dying, because it happens in the NBA as well, too. You can average 40 if you Kobe shooting over 50, 60 shots a game. And nobody else on the team is great. Pacheco, he had to work in the confines of hey, I got this great receiver over here. Patrick Mahomes pretty much can do anything godly when it comes to it, and he's in that mode. You have the best tight end in the league and Travis Kelce. He's playing with a lot of that. And how I'll be coming at it, it'd be more of, I feel like what these other teams is going to come at with him and try to use as excuses, because at the end of the day, it's a business. How can I not pay you as much money? And that's why a lot of people don't want to come to Kansas City when they're on a 1-year deal. Because if you have all this talent around you, I need to prove to them that I can average 1,300 to 1,400 yards receiving, or I can have 1,000 to 1,100 yards on the ground. Because they're going to be like, hey, I need that type of talent over here. I'm going to go all in on you because I am thirsty to win a Super Bowl.
And this is where I think that Pacheco comes into the year, and we can get off of it because this is probably talking about future stuff, but he comes into this year with a challenge. We know Pacheco is not that great as a receiving back, but I think what separates him and what separates the McCaffreys, what separates the Saquon Barkleys is their catching ability. If he could come in and have an anomaly year where he gets about 500 to 1,000 receiving yards, if possible, or even up to about 300, show that you have the ability to come out of the backfield and catch the ball. I feel like his market value is only going up from here, is what I think me and Clinton are trying to say. So
300 to 400 receiving with 1,000. It's like, hey, bro, yeah, because he totaled that with 15 because I'm playing on a passing offense as well too. So pretty much that 1,500 that you use to those running backs who playing in those systems, doing it hey, I'm making it up in a receiving game as well. If you want to throw the ball.
And Let me finish on 2 positive notes about Pacheco and why I'm not worried about him. He's 25 years old, so he's older prospect because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is literally younger than him, and we know that he was here 2 years prior to him. But Kansas City Chiefs fans will know the great name of Jamal Charles and about why he should be in the Hall of Fame. And the reason for that is the statistics of nearly 5 yards a carry. Do you know Isiah Pacheco, the last 2 seasons, is averaging 4.9 and 4.6 yards per carry? So bring up his carries, and he reaches 1,000 yards. And he ups that average even more because Isiah Pacheco does not go down on first contact. It takes 3 or 4 or 5th contact when he finally hits the ground. So those stats alone should be an indicator that Isiah Pacheco is built different.
And he missed 3 games too, right?
That is correct.
You play 16, bro. You're getting it. You're getting it because he was at 800 something, if I don't believe, like 3 or 4 weeks before. And if you average it around 50 to 60 yards, you would have got there. So, I'm not taking away. It's just more. I'm not taking away nothing from you at all. Honestly, what they're saying, Pacheco, I'm on their side. Just saying what I think other people who try to go after you when the time comes, what they're trying to utilize against them.
What the legal say? Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on all our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. If you enjoyed that, make sure to check out the full-length episode below.